I enjoy a lot of series, but Percy Jackson is something that in my childhood made me feel seen, made me feel like there was children that were like me. Now I'm an adult, but still I think it was so good for me. It may be good for other children. My little sister that is starting to read this kind of things now, so inspires me to keep this thing alive for other people. I have ADHD. I am an LGBT plus person, so these books have this kind of characters. They talk about their struggles, and I feel seen. I don't feel like I'm reading a book where it's always the same person and I cannot relate to it. Because when I was a child, I read a lot of these books and it was kind of lonely. It felt lonely for me. So, this feeling of being seen, of having a family of people who actually feel the same. They feel seen. The fandom is really inclusive in the most part of it. And it's a really nice feeling. Alex from Magnus Chase is my favorite character because, like her, I am non binary. So I never in my life um, have seen a character like me. So it's something incredible to read. It's something amazing to be able to read about the things you live in your life regularly. One of my favorite, if not my favorite book ever, is Loki. This book is so openly LGBT that I never read anything more like home for me. It is my comfort book. And I would say that anyone can read it because you don't need previous knowledge. You can just get the book, read it, you will get the story. So I'd say that book is actually my favorite. For non-binary people, it is something that validates them and it's something good to their mental health and etc. But for people who are non-LGBT, it is actually a nice book. It is an amazing story, and you will enjoy it no matter what. Why is it important to people who are not LGBT? You can see someone that maybe you never imagined that had one struggle or another, and when you find a person like that, you can feel more related to them. You can respect their boundaries. You know more about this person and their struggles. But to people who are not used to it and feel like, oh, there shouldn't be LGBT books for my children and I don't want to hear about it. Like, okay, it exists, but it is important to people to be able to exist in all kind of media, in movies and in books. Not everything has to be about just one certain kind of person. We can have movies to maybe just women will enjoy and that's okay, and maybe just LGBT people, and that's okay too. And people these days kind of don't get that not everything is made for them, but they can enjoy it if they open themselves a little bit. You can enjoy the stories too. It's important to these people to not be weird anymore because it will be normal. You see them in a movie, you see them in a book, and I believe that with time, people will just get used and won't give a shit about it anymore. like 20 years ago in my country, people really didn't care if LGBT people were dying, because we had a really bad time here where people were being killed, people were struggling. And nowadays, because you see gay people in books and in movies and in the TV, you don't get that reaction anymore. People are just like, okay, it's just one more day. I have a neighbor that doesn't need to hide anymore, and I know he's gay, and what can I do about it? It is important so people don't have to hide anymore. I am non-binary. Okay, that's not relevant for my work, but it is important for me to be able to say it, and just people know how to call me they them pronouns, and that is it. There is no more need for anything, and people just get so mad sometimes because you just are asking to be treated in a certain way. It is important for people to be able to just exist. You don't need to give special treatment. You don't it's so simple. And I believe that it's so difficult to people to understand non-binary people because it's not something that many people know about, as many other things. But with non-binary characters, people will know that, well, they exist. So, oh, you are non-binary, okay, fine, what are your pronouns? And it ends here. I don't need to explain what it is. People say, oh, you want attention. No, I want it to be normal. I want to not have to talk about it again. But unfortunately, I do. I have to, because people are actually in danger. People suffer. People are killed. My country is one of the countries that most kill LGBT people in the world. So how can I not talk about it when I'm a person that is in danger, you know? When I got exposed to these characters, it was something like, okay, I can relate to it, and I wasn't even sure what was with me struggling to fit when I was reading Loki, and not the book. It was way before the comics. And I found out that he was non-binary, and I was reading, and I felt so much like, oh, it has a name. There's more people like that, and I didn't know. It's something really weird, but you feel like you know what you are, and now you know the name of it. You know that it's normal. There's people like that. So when I got exposed to Loki as a non-binary character, I felt the urge to look for people who were non-binary and talk about their experiences. And then I could see that my experiences were, if not the same, very close to it. And then I could feel like I knew what to do, because I had people that experienced those things before, and they could help me. We could talk about it. I'm so happy because maybe someone who is struggling and don't even know that it is a thing, what they are, they will know a name to search for a group, to know people like them, and to feel validated, to have support.